morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another awesome episode of Gentleman Dog Portrait. I think the new tagline of the show... I made the Facebook cover page.
Okay.
So I made the tagline of the show. I just kind of came up with it, wasting your time for you since 2015. If anyone's got a better one, nice. I'm all ears. Seriously. But I'm confident with that. I'll stick with that.
Nice.
No, it's generic, but I don't want to scare people away or anything.
Yeah.
It's open. It's honest.
Yeah, it's it fits a wide range of things that we might cover. So
this is a time waster, but it's a fun time waster. It's fun shit. It's like if you're like me and you've been listening to the same song 20 times at work through your earphones, then it's I need something different. And here it is. Here it is. Here's your saving grace. Here's what you've been waiting for. You vultures.
Here we are.
How dare you. So, this has been a fun week for me. It's been a fun one day, and that day was Thursday, honestly. The rest of the week is pretty forgettable, for the most part. Yeah, there were a couple of things I did, but Thursday was my going out night.
Okay.
And before I get into it, it's it is ridiculously hard to nail people down on a date anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A friend of mine asked me, what I did on Thursday was I went out drinking karaoke, and I ended up getting dinner with someone that was going to the party with me anyway.
Okay.
But that was planned a few weeks ago, and I'm going to a concert at the end of the month on a Sunday, and I've asked 10 people so far. No one, absolutely no one can go.
Yeah.
I did eventually find someone who I think her schedule was open enough to do it. So there's that. I'm going with her.
Okay.
But before that, it's I'm going to be in San Diego. You're fucking kidding me, right?
People make plans, man.
Yeah. Well, the concert is on a Sunday, which people are already I don't want to do anything on a Sunday.
Yeah. It's
at night, which people are already planning for the beginning of their work week on Monday. And 3, it's Palm Sunday. So if you're slightly religious, chances are you have something going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people that hit all 3 marks.
What's the concert?
They Might Be Giants.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, I signed up for one of their fan promotions, so I got 2 tickets to see one of their concert dates, to see one of their concert shows, and there were only 2 or 3 that were playing in Brooklyn. One was in February, this one's in March, and there was one, I think at either the beginning of February, the other, or at the end of January. So it was okay, it's too late for me to sign up for the January one. February might be a little tricky. I guess March is left.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd have to drive out to Detroit or something.
Yeah, it's nicer to go when it's a little warmer.
Yeah,
anywhere.
Right. Well, that too. I wouldn't have minded braving a blizzard to see one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, I guess it's something to do in the winter when nothing else is going on. But...
Yeah. But I think that's my experience. Maybe I haven't gotten the hint that I'm just not a pleasant person to be around. And maybe my friends are just kind of sidestepping. Look, you're a good guy and all, and I say that being very generous, but I don't want to actually be around you.
Concerts are, though... concerts are
just
movies,
my paranoia.
Man. You can go to the movies with someone you hate, and it doesn't really matter.
That's very true.
Because you're watching a movie. It's where you're going to be in... If you wanted to talk to somebody there, it would be challenging.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because you'd be listening to the music anyway. You're surrounded by people. You might just meet someone else and forget about your friend entirely.
Well, that wouldn't be nice. But
it wouldn't be nice, but it's certainly a possibility. You can't do that in the movies because you're already sitting right next to them.
Yeah.
Hey, let's ditch this loser.
Going places alone seems weird, and it feels weird because I've done it. But
I know there were people that have asked me, and they were asking everybody, but it's one of those social stigma questions. Would you see a movie by yourself? And I'm yeah, of course I would.
I've done it. But
I haven't yet. I want to.
Yeah. That's not even that is kind of one of those things, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it is. It's it's a solo experience that you end up doing with other people, and like
Yeah.
there's minimal interaction there between people. You'd be like, "Oh my god, did you see that? Yeah, I know. I was sitting right fucking next to you."
Right. I mean, but like there's some things that are more like a concert is more. I don't know. Like the movies.
A concert's a solo experience around a group of people. Like you're all experiencing the same thing, and you're all internalizing it differently.
That's true.
But you're also like, it's the energy that you're around other people with that makes it a lot more exciting.
Yeah, you get it's nice. It's not something that you would want to do completely alone, like with no one else, like you, the only person in the audience. Like it's different when you watch a movie at home.
Yeah,
It's a different experience, but everybody goes with their friends, so like even though it doesn't really matter, like it's not gonna like.
It's not going to detract from it.
It's not like you're going to be in a rowboat rowing one oar, like spinning in a circle. Like it's the same concert for you as it is for everybody that came with their friends. But it's just like everybody does go with their friends, so you know that and you see that, and you're the one going alone, and you're like, I'm weird, like,
yeah,
etc.
Yeah. Well,
so
I guess. I want to go to the movie theaters by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Never had the opportunity to, but we've all seen a movie like at home. We've definitely done like
everybody's watched a movie alone.
Yeah, everyone's watched a movie by themselves.
One.
Movie theaters, that's like a different thing because you're already expecting to be around people, so it's strange. It's like going out to dinner by yourself. Like,
yeah.
no, but not like just picking up something and then like going home and eating it by yourself or eating in your car.
Sitting in a restaurant.
Sitting in a restaurant, like table for one.
Being waited on. Yeah. It's kind of strange. Like
it does sound like a luxury experience when you say it like that, like being waited on. Like
yeah, well,
because the waiter is there literally just for you.
It's weird because that's just weird. I don't know. Like there are times when maybe like no one else, their schedule doesn't match up, or you really want to see this movie because it's your thing, and maybe other people not so hot for them. But like a restaurant, everybody eats food, man. So
that was going to be me with the Lego Movie. Honestly, I wanted to see that by myself on my birthday back when I was in college, and like I asked my roommate on a whim, just like, I guess you're not doing anything around this time. You want to see the Lego Movie with me? And he agreed, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's better now.
See, the thing with movies though too is that if like you'll miss the big screen experience if you don't go, but at some point you'll be able to like rent it or torrent it or Netflix it or something.
You'll be able to see it by yourself.
You can like talk yourself out of going alone probably to a movie more than other things. Like,
but you'd have to wait a year.
Yeah.
And you'd have to wonder, will the spark still be there a year from now?
Like a concert, it's kind of hit or you're either going or you're not. But I went to this.
Well, because like a concert, you could be incredibly existentialist about it and be like, I've already listened to their music, I already know what it sounds like, I don't need to go to a concert. And I was like that for a long time when I had no money. Yeah. But now that I know that I can see them in person, and it is a different experience.
Yeah. If it's somebody you really, I mean, there's some bands
they could play the songs
like,
exactly the same, but the thrill of seeing those people in person, playing there, like I don't know, there's
some stuff you just gotta see for yourself.
Exactly.
I went to in New York City. So there's Manhattan, and beneath Manhattan is this island called Governor's Island.
I work in such a location where I can like look out the window and see Governor's Island. So I know what you're talking about.
So for people that don't understand, Manhattan is very. There's some parks and stuff in it. Central Park exists. But there are some smaller,
way to friggin' point that out.
There are smaller parks and Governor's Island is at the southern tip of Manhattan. There's a free ferry which takes you across to this big island that is like exclusively a park. Like there's nothing else. There's some park buildings and stuff, but so a lot of stuff goes on there. And one of the things is this event called the Jazz Age Lawn Party. So everybody dresses up like they're from the 1920s and 1930s.
Ooh.
And it's mostly people in their 20s and 30s, which is pretty funny. And so you should be like 20s, 30s, and dress 20s, 30s. And
wow, I would have to like do some research to know how to get in.
Oh, how to get? I mean, you can just. I think it's like
No, but like
Just buy a ticket, yeah.
No, but just to know like
At the
the
gate.
right garb, so that I know I'm doing the experience right.
Like I didn't want to just go in my regular clothes because I thought that would be bad. See, what happened was
At least you have that sense of humility.
like
Thank you for being like that.
like the way it started was this girl I knew. We always talked online, but she would always flake out like of
right.
meetings, and and the thing was like I wasn't like dying to meet her. She was just like, hey, like let's go do this. And then the day before, like the hour before, she would find some like crazy, she would back out of it. So this was like one of the earlier times of that happening before I really like caught on to that. That's what her pattern was. And she was like, I don't have anybody to whatever. This person, no one can make it with me to this thing. You need to like come be my date for this thing. Just come dress up. Like I can't just go alone. So
wait, so hold on. She invited you to that?
Yes.
I gotta hear how she backed out of that.
So,
how she retracted
she was just
the
like,
offer.
No, well, she's just this like social. She was socially. She was like,
Anxious?
worried I would like, I don't know, not be your friend or something.
Knock her out.
I met her like, oh, I don't want to know you. So
buy her a Danish.
So I got like, I was like doing a favor almost. You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, I can do that. So I'll plan for it, and I'll like get an outfit together. And I call my uncle, get a fedora, something. We'll get this vest.
You neckbeard.
Try to make no. Well, it's different.
I'm sorry.
I
can't
it's not
hear
one of those.
I can't hear fedora without thinking neckbeard. Now.
Think of like.
Thank you, internet, for ruining.
You got to think of like Dick Tracy.
Yeah, like those. Like, the original
Swanky, like Humphrey Bogart.
The original wearers of the fedora before was like quote unquote classy.
Think of like people swing. A lot of swing dancers go. If you're like a swing dancing person that likes,
that doesn't surprise me as much.
Learns that stuff
because like you're in your element.
It's like you get to show off there. They have a big dance floor out on the. It's in a park, but they put a dance floor down, like a wooden floor. They have a jazz band, and the guy's got like the curl of hair coming down, and he's singing all these old 20s songs.
That's pretty cool.
They have like 20s themed liquor, pie. They have a pie eating, not a pie eating contest, but they have a pie baking contest. So people bring their pies, and it's like, this would be the pie a hobo would most likely steal off a windowsill or something. Like that's the award.
Oh, that's awesome.
And everybody puts out blankets and brings food and has picnics and dances.
That sounds incredible.
And
cool.
Everybody's dressed like it's like during the day. It ends at 6, so at night you can go to bars and stuff. Anyway, point of the story is I put this whole outfit together, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go. I can't make it." She didn't even really like make an official excuse. It was just kind of like
shrugging it off.
She was not gonna go because she was freaked out about it. And
really? So
yeah, this was like 2 years ago or something like that. But
yeah, I would find it hard to believe that you would like keep contact with her after that.
So mainly I had like anticipated going. Yeah, we didn't really keep we kind of stopped talking a little bit after that. But so I had this outfit. I was planning to go.
All right.
And that's what I did. I just went. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I wouldn't have known anybody there anyway, but her. You know what I mean? What were we gonna? So I brought my camera because I figured there would be some really, it's like going to a cosplay convention almost. But there's going to be some over the top things going on. Some people that are dressed crazy.
Two questions.
Yeah.
Well, I have one point and one question. Yeah, it's like a cosplay convention, but at least it's got like a central theme. Like Comic-Con, like that reaches so many different
it's a whole
universes that it's like
thing.
Anything's fair game.
Yeah.
From TV to comics to movies to games.
Mm-hmm.
But at least this is like centralized. Like you know what you're walking into.
This is like an era. Yeah.
Yeah. And two, with those over the top people, did you see anyone that was steampunk? Like, did you see anyone like, this is the 1920s, but I threw some gears and shit on there?
No.
It's futuristic.
They were
but
specific.
it's also old.
They were like Imagine like 1920s, like going to Yale or something, and like you have like this newsboy kind of look, like you have that newsboy hat and suspenders and like round little glasses and stuff.
Oh shoot! That reminds me of a picture of how people used to dress when going to Brown University, and it was something like that.
Yeah,
it was like everywhere from newsies to like full on suits.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that is cool.
And
that actually makes a school seem prestigious.
Everybody's a little more formal, but also a little more. It's interesting. I don't know what to say.
That sounds
the
fun.
girls certainly have like crazy flapper dresses and feather earrings and stuff, and it was fun. And I got a lot of good pictures, and people thought I have a nice camera, like with I brought my like zoom lens, so it looks like I'm from. Everybody's asking me, who are you shooting for? Like what magazine or what publication? What website are you shooting for? So I just said,
oh, I thought they were like trying to fit in with the times. It's like, oh, what rag are you rooting for?
Nobody was really like.
But we're on a respectable rag over here.
There was a guy.
Daily Planet.
There was a guy in like a Colonel Sanders suit, basically like fat old 60-year-old guy with his wife under a parasol, like sitting, having like a picnic, like you would see in like Brother Where Art Thou. You know what I mean? It was just like that, and other tons of crazy people.
That sounds amazing.
Dude in like a heart like Panama
Panama jacket.
Like an imperialist British soldier.
Like from the age of colonization.
Like a beetle helmet, and like it's all khaki. He's like in a khaki uniform with a riding crop and big mustache. Like
maybe that's going a little too far back. Maybe
I don't know, but it was interesting. I mean, everybody was interesting. And so I had a good time. I thought I would just like wander around and kind of like not have anybody to talk to and just like be weirdly there, but they were sociable. I don't know. I'm kind of.
Was it like a crowded
I'll take chances like that. Yeah, very crowded. Yeah.
Yeah, very crowded. Okay, all right.
I mean, there was everybody on blankets too, sitting and stuff, and there were lines for things. But I just would go up to people and be like, "Hey, do you want to dance? Like, do you want what's going?" And I would take their picture and start a conversation with a group of people if they had really good outfits.
Well, that's like a conversation starter. I remember.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I didn't really like plan it out. I don't know. Yeah, but
like when you're the guy with the camera and you're the one that's like saying, I want to make the memories," then people will come up to you and be like, "Can you take our photo?" You're like, oh, all right.
It's like I guess it's like a compliment though. Like, hey, can I take your picture? Like, you
are like the
thing
picture
that you created is really good.
Yeah.
So
or like you are the memory that I want to take away from this. Yeah. No,
I mean.
But speaking of 1920s things, that's how my Thursday started with like it being interesting was someone told me about a modern day speakeasy.
Yeah, there's a speakeasy in Manhattan.
There's several in Manhattan.
And maybe in Brooklyn too. Yeah.
There's several in Manhattan, so that goes without saying. But it was specifically this one place. It had the entrance through the phone booth.
Okay.
And they had pricey cocktails, and it was right above like a hot dog stand. But the name of the thing is Please Don't Tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
People have already heard of it. People are already in the loop, but I'm just like learning about this.
Okay.
So I hate when people are like that,
sorry.
but that's like a rant for another time.
No,
it's cool though.
I don't really like. I read an article about a bunch of them in New York Magazine.
Yeah.
At some point.
So that's probably how some people know about them, but also word travels fast.
Yeah.
But I looked at it, and it's always been one of my dreams to go to a modern day speakeasy.
Mm-hmm.
But I also didn't want one that was like overcrowded, because once something is exclusive, everyone wants to get in.
Yeah.
So they actually have like a reservation number that you have to call. It opens exactly at 3. You have to call immediately at 3. You have to be specific about how many people you want to be with, and you have to come precisely when you said you would. So I checked out the reviews. It seems like a really nice place. I might get people to go there with me. And I noticed something about the bad reviews. It's a habit that I make to read the bad reviews because there are sometimes genuine problems that people have, and they all have the common theme of, I brought extra people, and they refused us at the door, telling us to get our story straight.
Probably, yeah.
I'm like, you are the kind of people that I would not want to be in there anyway.
You need to go in like groups of two to not attract attention.
Yeah, well, either groups of two or just be precise. You know what I mean? But I don't know. When they made it sound exclusive and actually followed up on that promise,
Mm-hmm.
because it sounds like a more relaxed place. Like, it's certainly not bustling with people. That immediately drew me in. Like, I don't want to be in a crowded bar where I can't hear myself think and be with 8 other people and, like, vie for attention. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of a speakeasy that I want to go to. I always wanted to go to a lounge for that reason. Never found a good one.
I think there's a speakeasy in the city where you have to go into an alley and there's a door and there's like you have to
Knock a certain way.
and the guy opens the slot and just
You know
looks
the
at
password?
you and you have to say the password and you have to know the password to get in.
Well, that sounds cool. Like,
But-
I would do something like that.
But then it's just like kind of a bar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, I looked at like alternate speakeasies in the area, and I found one closer to where I work, but it requires a membership, and that kills it for
It's just like it's just the thing is that there's bars in New York. There's so many bars,
Yeah.
so everyone is looking to get a little.
me. They have like
They
a
either have a great location or some kind of edge to
yeah.
stay alive.
They have something that makes them that tries to set them apart from everywhere else. Be it like the setting
Yeah.
or what kind of drinks they offer, or oh, we're the bar that bans singing "Oh Danny Boy."
Yeah,
Literally, that's one bar's claim to fame. I don't think it's any different otherwise.
it's like somebody probably found some real estate in New York City where there was an entranceway in an alley, and it was horrible for any kind of business. And they thought, hey, we can try to
We can make this
charge
exclusive.
double for drinks here. Yeah.
Yep. It's
So
literally a market. New York City is like a economics playground where literally every economic theory works. Oh, being open to customers gets you more business. No, shooing away customers gets you more business, and they both work.
there is a great documentary I recommend. You can actually watch it on YouTube, for free. The entire documentary is on YouTube. It's called "I Hate Killing Flies." Maybe it's called that. I'll make sure while I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
well, yeah.
But yeah, but
Tell me about it.
but just not a huge story. It's about a family who owns a restaurant in New York City, and the guy's been doing it for 20, 30 years, something like that. And the menu looks like a piece of paper that you took notes on for like 30 years. It's just like it's just totally packed with text. There's like a billion things you can order.
Oh wow.
And it's just him cooking, and and he'll just like say like, all right, we'll take oh sorry, he'll say, okay, we'll take like escarole and cashews and chicken, and I'll put pineapple, and that's a dish. You know, he'll just like create like, okay, we'll do
So it's kind of like throwing ingredients at the wall. Ingredients
Yeah.
at the wall and see what sticks.
definitely.
Ingredients. That should be like the new colloquialism for ingredients that have gone bad or sour. Ingredients.
Yeah, so
That's me ranting.
the way that this ties in is that the dude he's just like, listen, like, the customer's not always right. Like, you come in, this is in New York City, by the way, too, and like, you come in here, like, I have this is my establishment, like, I've established a way that works. This is success, and like, you know, I have rules because they work. So like, if you come in here and think like whatever you want is what's gonna happen, like, you can just leave. You know, like, I've kicked people out all the time. He's kind of he won't serve a party of 5. So you can be a party of 4, you can be a party of 2, party of 5. No,
But can you do more?
no, 5 or more you can't do. So
5 or more? Okay, so I thought it was like a weird thing. Like,
And-
you can be a party of 4 or you can be a party of 6, but you cannot do 5.
there's a big sign like, well, no, like, don't try to say you'll split up into a party of 2 and a party of 3, 2 different tables. Like, don't come here with 5 people. You won't get served. 100 years from now, 100 miles from here, you'll still be a party of 5, and you still won't be served here. Like that's
Wow.
so. It's kind of that's just what I wanted to mention.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Like
Yeah.
I gotta give I gotta give props to any business owner that like has principles and sticks to them.
Oh.
Because we are in a very consumer driven society, and a lot of them just are jerks just because they think they can get something more out of it. Like, try something different. Don't demand that you want the same thing everywhere, because that's just not how to live, you know?
True.
It's like if you order a hamburger in every restaurant, it's like what are you really getting out of the experience?
True.
What separates your hamburger from a diner from a hamburger in a 5-star restaurant? Like, barely anything. The changes are marginal.
Wow. I guess so, but it depends who's making. Like, I think like if you make burgers for 30 years, it's not even like you're trying to make a burger anymore. It's just a pattern.
It's a thing.
It's like using a grill that's been used.
It's not even a food. It's a thing at that point.
It becomes like muscle memory. Like it's just. So here, it's called I Like Killing Flies, and he serves over 900 dishes in a restaurant, he's the only cook.
Wow.
So.
No, that's really cool.
Imagine, like, he goes out, they show, him shopping for all the different ingredients and things he needs to keep around him, and
that's cool.
It's pretty crazy. Anyway, I recommend it. I like Killing Flies.
But going back to the Speakeasy, I was turned off at the idea of the membership, but when I started thinking about it, I'm like, that is a really good way to keep out people who aren't dedicated to just, like, going there for a nice experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I understand.
It keeps out the tourists, and it's also gonna try. The theory is that if I'm gonna go drinking somewhere and I have a membership here, I'm gonna spend my money here.
Exactly.
So it's like,
but I do. It does turn me off to the simple fact that if I'm paying a certain amount and I can't guarantee myself that I am not going to drink here at least this many times. Like, if I pay $300 for membership, and this is like an annual thing,
yeah,
or it's like $300 up front, and then you have to pay a certain amount every year. I have to like guarantee myself that I need to go a certain amount of times to make that membership worthwhile, and you still have to pay for drinks on top of that.
Yeah.
So you're paying like upwards of $400 or $500 just to have an exclusive place that you're paying mostly for atmosphere.
Yeah.
On top of the drinks that already upcharged for atmosphere.
When you're paying for atmosphere,
for someone like me, that would be buyer's remorse. But
yeah.
I guess if you really, really need that high-class martini
if you really
right after work, and you're already in formal attire, you may as well.
If you really need that Apple Watch in solid gold.
Well, if you're the kind of person that would buy the solid gold Apple Watch, then you may as well have. You probably do have extra money to throw around just for exclusive membership somewhere. So looking at these two speakeasies got me thinking. I've always wanted to open my own. If I ever had like a food and booze service in mind,
right,
it would be that. But I would go whole hog. You would have the password at the door. You'd have reservations. You would have a secret menu. I've always loved the idea of secret menus. So you'd have to do your own homework to know what you want in that restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, keep everything fresh. Like, yeah, you'd have, like, the staples of drinks that you already know the secret menu. That's not going to change. There's seasonal ones that you can, like, order that are new.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a new password like every month, every few months, or like every year or something.
You should have a table in the middle or something or somewhere that no one is ever seated at, and only you sit there when you come in.
That is a good idea.
And then,
adding that to the idea list.
And then you could I don't know. Secret menu's hard because how do people get to know about it? Unless like you sit at your table and attract a lot of attention and order something different that no one's heard of.
Yeah,
and but I don't know. That seems very hard to.
Well,
but yeah.
But on top of that, one idea that I would keep constant is the idea of a speakeasy was developed during Prohibition because you wanted to hide the fact that you were consuming alcohol from the authorities, right? I mean, like that's the theory behind them.
Yeah.
So you were selling and consuming alcohol without the authorities knowing, so you would keep everything secretive. Now, if you have a liquor license, there's no reason for you to be secretive, but in this restaurant, you cannot order something that is either a common name for a drink. Like, you can't have a margarita, but you can have a swordfish, which is a margarita.
Okay.
You can't specify anything by their actual name.
Yeah.
That would be the thing behind the restaurant. Like,
I guess.
it's a hip joint, and you would not be... Like, if someone said, like, I don't know what I want, just give me a gin and tonic, I'd be like, I'm sorry, sir, I have no idea what that is. And, like, give them the shifty eyes.
I wonder... I guess it'll be cool. That should be cool.
Yeah, that would...
I feel like there's going to be a certain subset of people who are just going to... It's going to be like the venti at Starbucks, and someone's just like, I just want a large. Like, just give me a large, and there's like,
Look, I don't know what I want. My friends just dragged me here. Do you serve beer?
We
don't serve beer here, sir. Now, are you going to order what is actually sold here, or are you going to leave?
Oh,
like,
God.
I would literally want to do that.
Yeah.
No food, just drinks, because let's keep it simple here. Well, it would probably be like a smaller establishment, so you wouldn't have like
keep it simple.
Because like you wouldn't have like a room for a grill or a fridge or a microwave. You would just have like you would be able to keep a bar, and that's kind of it. So it's one of those things, and I would like it would. I want it to be one of those places that you know you're coming there for a drink. You're already familiar with all of the lingo. You are coming here because you want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? And it would have to be like great drinks, or like you would come because it is a very secretive thing.
Or you have events there or something, maybe.
Maybe. But I looked at the list of rules for Please Don't Tell, and like it seems very respectable. Like I would copy those instantly. I would say like you can't scream in here. You have to keep things at a moderate level. No phone conversations. We don't want anyone tracking where we are. Things like that. Like, I don't know, that would be cool. It
would be cool. It's tough, man. I hate to be, like,
negative. It would be very tough.
But, like, a regular place is tough, even. A lot of the regular places don't make it. Yeah, I used to always...
It would basically be, like, one of the very first restaurants... No, not even restaurant. One of the very first bars that would be almost entirely barley market-driven.
Okay.
Like, you would have to do your research and be like, you have to find someone who knows how to get the secret menu.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, okay, well, this is a thing now. Okay, this is I can't post it on the internet. I would probably hire someone to be like, search every 15 minutes for secret menu to this restaurant, and if you find it, report it, delete it, hack the person. I don't care. Get it off.
What you need to do is have like in the bathroom a two-way mirror above the sink, and when you turn, but no one's behind it. Okay, but there's a menu posted in like a cubby or something behind the mirror where you have to turn the lights off in the bathroom and shine a light through the mirror.
That is so cool.
To see the menu.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Damn it. That is good. That's a good idea. See? You want to work there with me? You want to work in my theoretical speakeasy?
Sure.
Well, that would be something I would do if I had enough back capital and just be like, all right, well, I've saved up $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Time for me to do this instead of my job.
Yeah.
Bartend here instead and like run it up from the ground up. Because we know someone mutually. We call him Ace. Yes. He got in contact with me. We haven't seen him a lot lately. And his knitting business, as he likes to call it, is taking off, so he wants to like sell his handmade things.
That's cool.
But he also wanted to buy a restaurant.
It's actually knitting, right?
Yeah, it's actually knitting. He also wanted to buy a restaurant. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, good luck with that. If you have the money, go ahead.
I mean,
and then the next message out of his mouth was, "Yeah, I'm finding out that owning a restaurant is a lot more of a difficult venture than I thought it would be." And in the back of my mind, I'm like, fucking duh, of course.
It's one of the most difficult. Yeah.
I took an operations management course in college, and the amount of stuff that you have to keep track of just to like run a business is insane. That's why it's literally someone's job to do all those things.
It's so hard because a lot of businesses, right? Like, let's say you make like paddle balls or something. You can make too many paddle balls for more than you're gonna sell, and it's fine, right? Because you can just ease off on making them,
And the next one, yeah.
and like they'll be good in a year. A steak is not going to be good in a year.
Exactly.
So you have to know.
But even that, like,
how much you need to order.
Yeah.
You don't want it to go bad. You
but
have to
like
know how
backing
to set
up
your
on the
prices.
paddle balls, you can still have like a reserve supply, and then say, "All right, let's cut down production so we can save on money."
Right.
And then like the next 3 months from now, you're still like very set in your system, and you're producing low. And then there's like a huge rush for paddle balls, and you're like, "We can't keep up.
Stuff
we
happens.
can't do it," and then you're screwed.
But a restaurant is like someone can be unhappy. You can do everything right and order and anticipate everything, and someone can send the food back, or
well, that's
no one will come.
Yeah, it's a very sink or swim thing. Like I got a big hand to people who actually own their own businesses. Holy crap!
The profit margin is tough.
It is. Like a lot of places are either breaking even or just sinking. Man, that sucks though.
Yeah. I always wanted to have a place that was like a cafe that would be called like the midnight snack, and at midnight, like,
it opens or something.
Nah, well, that would be really bad for
or,
business.
Or like at midnight they like switch the menus.
It would
or something.
be just special, yeah. Something would be more special. There would be some kind of gimmick at midnight. Like if you come in and you'd be encouraged to come in pajamas to the restaurant, to the
that'd
cafe.
Be cool.
It'd be very
really cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we have me and my fiance. We have this friend back home. He's a friend I know from high school, and I guess the three of us. Well, maybe it was just me and her, and we just kind of included him in on this. We always had this idea. Like she likes to bake. I can cook. She also cooks, and he is like a master baker. Like he's the guy that made the fudge in one of our previous episodes. He actually commented on it.
The fudge guy.
Yeah, he's the one that he commented on it. And it's like, "Is that me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's you. Who else makes fudge?"
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we always just kind of like talked about how we could run basically our own bakery cafe, kind of like Panera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the three of us.
Yeah, bakeries are
because
cool.
that could like conceivably happen. But when you realize that you have to have like a lot more skills to do that. Like, instead of me cooking, I would basically have to run the books, along with, like, a small squad of people.
And then, you won't have time to...
and then I won't have time to actually, like, cook and bake.
And things will go wrong.
On top of that, you gotta sink in basically all of your free time anyway.
Yeah.
And
it's like, are you gonna have, like... What's the property tax gonna be, and what are you gonna have to pay for water, and, like, what are you gonna have to pay for, ovens or something, you know what I mean? And, like...
Like, you could have it open from 9 in the morning to, like, 9 at night. Make it a 12-hour day. But then you would have to spend the next...
You have to pay people.
Yeah, you have to spend the next 4 hours just kind of, like, cleaning up and making sure everything balanced out in the books. And it's like, that's all your time.
It's a lot. It's definitely...
You have to hire more people, and then you'd have to pay them, and then it consumes your life.
And then... You wonder when you go to the bakery why a cake is like $40 or something sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
It's the way of the world.
But yeah.
Of baking.
It's a stressful thing, but if it's something that you really want to do, like that's your dream. You know,
right?
You do it.
Yeah, I was looking. I think a cool thing is food trucks. I'm attracted to food trucks because
I remember you told me about your
idea. Whole idea,
and
I don't know if it's a great idea.
It didn't seem that well in practice.
Right.
Or like when you actually like explained it to somebody and they brought you down to earth, it was like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense. But tell them.
Well, I just want to say like the reason I think a food truck is cool is because you don't have a big menu. You have a very focused menu, and food trucks are very thematic. So like, you're selling this one type of thing. You have your truck has this one kind of personality, and I mean your location it's not as much anywhere near as much as a restaurant or as a commitment to a restaurant. It's like maybe total like $100,000 for your whole operation. And you'd be pretty well along.
Yeah, you'd have to like buy a truck, convert it so that like the back of it is a kitchen, buy all the equipment for that, and then just run your business out of it. Like, that's it. Yeah, I could see that. So, they're becoming a trendy thing. They've been a trendy thing for a while, enough to actually get their own, like, shows and competitions on, like, Food Network and crap. And if you've been around in New York City and you've ignored the halal carts, although those are still a big thing.
Yeah,
you ignore the
everywhere.
halal carts. You could definitely find one that's unique. I've seen one that is specialized in lobster rolls.
Okay.
And, like, they're as expensive as you expect lobster rolls to be. Like, just because they're out of a truck doesn't make them less of a quality.
It's just a restaurant, yeah.
Yeah, lobster truck, Indian food, pizza trucks.
There's everything. I mean, it depends where you go. There's certain...
I had a gorilla cheese, a grilled cheese from a place called Gorilla Cheese.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like I'll explain that, but you
like,
you
are
go
they
on...
selling, you know, for
Waffles and
example,
Dingus
they're
truck
not
is a big
selling
one,
like tacos or hamburgers there. They're selling grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Like, there's not, like, that's their thing.
Although a big thing, like, there's a truck outside of my office sometimes called Domo Taco. It's basically like Korean
taco
tacos.
truck. Yeah,
Korean tacos. Like, it can't be just tacos with these people. It has to be, like, their own infusion. Like, wow.
I've seen kimchi truck. There's the big gay ice cream truck too in New York City.
Oh,
There's a lot of
the Waffles and Dingus one's a personal favorite of mine.
If you go to certain places at certain times of day, like, they'll all be there. Like, but
Yeah, but tell us about your idea for a unique food truck.
so what I was thinking was that
If the speakeasy business goes well, we'll be able to afford your truck.
there's not, so this is maybe the reason there's not really any trucks that are like pasta trucks in New York City, okay? And gnocchi, I don't know if you know what gnocchi is, everybody, but you should. It's a pasta made out of potato flour, so it's like, instead of regular pasta made with wheat, it's made with potatoes. It's heavier, it's different. It's a nice texture. And I thought that's just like the perfect, like, it's kind of like a niche food, like waffles, or something.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that are, like, served in a lot of Italian restaurants.
Right.
But I think they're just kind of, like, served there out of just, okay, well, if you don't want the long, thin, ropey pasta, here are potato nuggets.
Yeah, it's like think of like shell pasta, but it's denser.
The little potato lumps.
And it's good, man. I always get it when I go out. But
Me too. Dude, my favorite thing,
you can,
pesto gnocchi.
Yeah, so pesto, you can
Gnocchi
get it
alla
with
pesto.
pesto, you can get it with
Bolognese sauce.
It's pasta. You think about all the different sauces you could have with pasta. You can put it just with cheese, like a macaroni and cheese type thing.
Yeah.
So I figured all I'd have to do is, like, have a truck with... So that was the thing. Like, I don't know how you would cook it to order unless you pre-cooked it.
Well, it would be one way. There's really only one way to have it. You can't have it underdone, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, like, so...
Even if you did, it's just potato lumps.
I'm wondering, like, if I cooked gnocchi in big batches and had, like, that morning I cooked a whole lot of gnocchi and I put it into tubs or something, big giant, like, totes of gnocchi, would it all, like, mush together into a big clump and be horrible after a few hours? Would I have to, like, half cook it and then, like, boil it for, like, a minute or two right before I serve it to you? Kind of like that. So then I was wondering, like, is this the reason there are no pasta trucks? Because pasta takes time to cook, and you can't really just leave it laying around, or it becomes rubbery and weird. But this is also made with potatoes, so it's not the same. It's a lot of questions, you know.
Well, I know from experience that gnocchi cooks pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like, you could just cook it in, like, 3 minutes.
So, yeah, there's a whole, like, logistics thing of how would if there's a line of people, like, how is this going to work? On the other hand, it's very, like, we can just have 3 sizes of containers or something, and if it is ready, you can just scoop it in and
put it
sauce
into
on top of it. Are you looking for the mac and cheese version, the pesto version, the marinara version?
Well, like, to counter with that, and putting in my own story, like, I waited, like, 15 minutes for a grilled cheese.
Right.
But it wasn't like just any grilled cheese. It had like grilled onions. It had like steak shavings. It was basically like a Philly cheesesteak
Okay.
in a grilled cheese sandwich. And that was 15 minutes. I've had regular Philly cheesesteaks that did not take that much time.
Yeah.
So...
Was there people in front of you, though? Was it, like, a stressed time?
Yeah, there was. And they had to wait, too. Like, they ordered just in front of me, and, like, they had to wait, too.
So maybe, yeah. Maybe it would work, you know?
It would. I think it would work,
I think,
but it's just a matter of...
Yeah. The other thing is, if you're eating food out of a truck, how are you going to eat pasta out of a truck? Are you going to, like... It's not a one-handed food.
It's not.
Which is a challenge.
It's really not.
It's not like getting a taco or a meat on a stick or a hot dog.
Well, I think that's also the thing.
Even a sandwich you could eat with one hand if you needed to.
Yeah, of course you could. But it is one of those things that they've built a food that you could also eat on the go. Because it's already on the go food. It's on a friggin' truck.
Right.
So there's rarely things that you have to like hold in one hand
with a fork in the other hand,
and the fork in the other hand, and then where's the knife? That's why you don't see steaks out of trucks.
I guess you could get. Yeah, it definitely has to be like minimum. Like you just stab it with a fork at most.
And that would be what a gnocchi is. Actually.
Yeah. So it could work.
There's that. I mean, like
ice cream. If you get a sundae or something, or ice cream in a cup.
Yeah, you have a hold in one hand, and then you scoop it out of that. You couldn't really do like regular pasta because I know some people need to have it with like the spoon and then twirl it into the spoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it with just the fork.
Maybe not spaghetti, but there's other pasta. And the thing is though,
rigatoni, penne maybe, but yeah.
Like pasta. I don't know. Like I remember at college we had like a food place, you know, where you swipe your card and you go in and they have food, and it's kind of like waiting for you. It's not like. You know,
like those like little
pizza
bins.
Under a hot plate, you know, or some things under a heat lamp rather. So the pasta, man.
I mean, you could.
It was not good.
Well, was there anyone that like snapped you out of it and like made you realize it would be a potato lump? You're an idiot.
What? I don't think it would be bad. What do you mean?
No, I thought there was someone. I thought there was someone that basically snapped you out of it and said this wouldn't work.
I think it would still work. I think it's just the thing is, it's just you have to really want to do it. You have to really. It's gonna be like more than like I have a job now, or I've had jobs in the past, and they're just jobs. Like I don't think about them when I go home. I don't spend my extra time. You have to and money on them. Like it's just something you have to love. And
although I do think there's one thing. I think when it comes to the sauce, like I don't think you can like. I think you can keep it heated and like ready to serve for a while, but I think at the end of the day you have to dump it because if you heat it up and then you like let it cool down, like you heat it up again, then like germs are going to breed like crazy from it.
I forget what I had to take a serve safe class before. I forget what the HACCP rules are, but it's something like that. There's a certain amount of hours.
But if that's the case, then I think you would just have like smaller vats. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you would have like it would be like the size of the soup serving things that people do. Like if you have to like pour your own soup into a cup, like it would basically be like that size. You couldn't have like a 20-gallon thing.
They have, I mean, I'm sure they have soup trucks and stuff with tureens and different. Like it's just I wouldn't be making like a lot of soup places I know switch their soups up all the time, and this would just be like. I'm gonna need a lot of this type of sauce. I'm gonna need a lot of penne alla vodka sauce. I'm gonna need a lot of marinara sauce. I'm gonna need a lot of pesto. So I can just make very large amounts.
But even then, if you just had to like heat it up or something, or if you ran out, you would just tell people, "Oh, we're out of the pesto," because that fucking happens every time. There's this one truck that like offers a pesto aioli sauce,
right?
And every time I'm like. Yeah, can I get this with the pesto aioli? No aioli today. Then what? It's no aioli every day. Stop that.
I mean, you can freeze pesto. You can freeze the basil too. But you
could freeze all. Like I think it would work.
Yeah, sauces you can freeze pretty much.
I think the only thing that I'm thinking about for like a potential setback is like it's a heavier food.
Yeah.
So you would have to like either be very hungry for lunch, or you would be willing to like.
Yeah.
It would probably be a smaller version of a plate that you would get in a restaurant, but it's still like a very heavy food. Like you're competing with sandwiches, You're competing with soups. You're competing with hot dogs.
Still, I mean, people want to eat lunch. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I sometimes
You would
just
corner the
think,
market
like,
though. I don't see a lot of pasta.
I would
trucks.
get there's no pasta, and like sometimes you want pasta. And I'm sure there's tons of places in the city that you can go into and get pasta.
Yeah.
And it's well done.
But those are the places that you have to like really wait for. Like gnocchi, you don't have to wait as much.
Right. Well, it would be geared towards being, it would be somewhat optimized towards not,
Yeah, I guess so.
not making you wait for a long time.
Yeah, maybe it was something that I heard of, like someone saying, once it's done, that's it. Like you have to serve it right away. Like you can't leave it sitting.
Yeah.
Maybe it was that.
It might just be that I have to. I was toying with the idea of like letting it.
Maybe once you have like a free day, just like cook some gnocchi.
Yeah.
Make 2 pots of gnocchi. One you kind of like leave in the water,
Yeah,
and the other one you just kind of like put out and put in like a bowl, and that's it. And then like
It's a
wait
whole process,
half an
man.
hour.
You got to make the dough the right way, and then like the way they traditionally do it is you take a fork and roll the fork, and it makes it have those ridges. When it rolls up into that shape, and I'm sure like it's gonna be a lot of before even like. You know what I mean? You'd have to cook gnocchi like a billion times just to
Yeah. Well, I think
perfect that.
Well, yeah, I think at first you'd have to like entice people by saying, "Oh, we make our own gnocchi." Like before you even even have your own business set up with the truck, you'd have to perfect your own recipe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can sympathize with that. I don't know. Like with the Gorilla Cheese Truck, it was literally like staring me in the face for the past 8 months.
Yeah.
That's when I started working, and I remember who the fuck would get a grilled cheese for lunch?
Yeah, why not?
Because it wasn't one of those like popular things. It was literally just Gorilla Cheese. King Kong from the Empire State Building, like holding out a sandwich. That was the picture, and nothing about that was enticing. But then I reached that point the other day, like. I don't want to have... I'm going down to where all the food trucks are, and there's like a whole strip of Indian food ones. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, you guys are terrible at spreading out your business.
Well,
And then I saw the Gorilla Cheese Truck. I'm like, well, that's different.
They might be there for a reason, though. Yeah.
Maybe they run like a circuit together.
Well, maybe the people that eat Indian food are there.
Maybe, but wouldn't you want to be like... Here's one Indian truck food. I
understand.
If people think their food is better, they're going to flock to them and not me. But I can get to the people that don't know that truck is there.
I guess so.
Yeah, well,
but it just could be like that's
my
where,
line of thinking.
Like that's where you are.
Yeah, it is true.
It's not like you're somewhere else.
Because it is like a couple of blocks that area where like most of the food trucks are. Because that's where people who work on Wall Street in the financial district, like at between the hours of 11 and 3, that's when people are going out and like looking to see where they want their lunch. So you're getting a large group of people that do that. You might not get as much business if you went like 10 blocks north to where Soho is or something, because like, well, it's kind of come and go. Mm-hmm. Maybe you would, but these are people that you reliably know are going to be there during the week at that time.
Yeah, you only have so long for lunch, man.
Yeah. But the Gorilla Cheese, I looked at it and I'm like, I guess I can have something there. And I looked and it was like $10 for a whole meal, like just the sandwich, tater tots of all things, and a drink. Like, okay, I guess I got really nothing to lose. And it was like a good sandwich. It was like nothing to really write home about. Mm-hmm. But it was a very unique idea that stood out from all the people, but wasn't as unique, like as novel as you think it would be. And that's, I think, the risk that you run with. Like, the Waffles and Dingus truck, like, that's one of my personal favorites, because how many food trucks sell waffles, of all things?
Yeah,
and then you can get waffles with ice cream. You can get waffles with friggin' bacon,
sausages. And stuff,
you can get one with pulled pork on it. Mm-hmm. Like that is cool. Yeah. And it's got like the giant waffle decorations. It's got the Belgian flag. Mm-hmm. You can get the dingus, the pickup. Like I want to talk like the Swedish chef when I'm there.
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that works. Like it's just like I know there's a bunch of places that do mac and cheese, and they sell like 15 flavors of mac and cheese. Like you can get it with chopped pickle and chopped meat in it and ketchup in it, and it's like mac and cheese burger. Like,
yeah.
And there's.
I'm thinking of Smack. Are you thinking of Smack too?
No, I'm thinking of a bunch of. No, I've never been there, but there's a
like
place
literally
like,
serve
up the block that's called Maximelt.
Yeah, they literally
Maximelt.
serve the mac and cheese in a cast iron skillet.
Yeah,
Like that's your bowl.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Last time I went there though, which was like 2 years ago, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah,
But
the
first time I went, it was like, oh man, this is so cool.
They have like a 2-step process, right? Like they boil the pasta and everything, and then they bake the whole dish. So it's cool, but like I don't know.
I feel like you can't really open a food business in such a concentrated area like New York City unless you have a hook.
Yeah.
Unless you have like for most people, if it's like, oh, I'm selling regular food, but it's organic or it's fair trade, then that's like enough to get by. That's like your ticket.
I think you either have to have a hook or you have to just be very good, you know. And a lot of people are going to be afraid they're not good enough or are not confident that they're going to be good enough, so they feel like if I have this hook, then I feel
there is that.
confident I'll succeed.
Like
so.
there's a place called Potatopia on like the east side. I think it's around NYU.
Okay.
I think. But it's literally a place that just sells like dressed up French fries.
Mm-hmm.
And it got a write up in Newsday, so that's how I that's how I found out about it. And like me and my family went there one day, and I just wasn't. They like had
but
different.
If it wasn't a weird place, it wouldn't have.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have noticed it in Newsday.
Yeah, but that's the hook. Like it's not someplace. It's what people are you appealing to with this? That's what I want to know. Because you can get like one of 5 different varieties of French fries, and they dress them up in a different way. You can't get hot dogs. You can't get hamburgers. You can't get a lot of things that just go with fries. You just go there for fries.
Yeah, poutine maybe.
I
that?
don't think they had poutine, which was kind of upsetting. If they had poutine, believe me, I would have got it, and I would actually say, oh, I've had poutine. I had the gravy and the cheese curds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so fucking hip.
They sell. There's something that they do that's like poutine in Europe, I think.
Yeah.
Some European countries, but it's like a bunch of stuff all loaded on there. Like it's like fries. It's like nacho. It's like 7-layer dipper nachos or something, but on fries.
The best fries that I ever had. Best fries that I like continually have like are my go-to. What do you want for fries? If someone ever actually asked me that question, I know what I would want. I would get the fully loaded fries from Checkers.
Okay.
Because like the Checkers fries are already awesome, but they also have cheese, bacon, and ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what more do you want from that?
Yeah, it's good. They're good. It's a good place. I can only go there once in a while. It's very
well,
rich.
I don't go there like every week
it's
or anything. I'm just like
heavy food.
Yeah.
But there's a place near me that I really like in high school. I don't know the name of it. It's some deli on like, and basically what it is the you know how delis will have like shelves for like products like paper towels and like dish soap and stuff occasionally. Yeah. So this place is like they have these like little shelves like lining the walls, and most of the interior spaces are like tables for eating, and it looks like you know like when a brand changes its logo and makes it more updated or something.
Yeah.
These are like the logos from like the 90s. Like the products there are just old and like no one buys them. The floor hasn't been mopped in like a million. The floor is always dirty. It always is like the floor of like a Subway.
Ugh.
And so I forget the name of the place, but everyone always just called it the Dirty Deli. So like we would go out drinking in high school or something, and then Sunday morning we would all meet up again
at the Dirty Deli.
Over at the Dirty Deli, and you get something called a Hungry Man. They have like a menu, but the Hungry Man is the choice thing, which is a burger, which is like twice the width of a regular burger, but like just as thin maybe or thinner.
Ooh. And
it's on a big bun, and it's loaded up with all kinds of stuff, and it's just like greasy. The grill is like has that greasy patina on it, and And they just make frozen fries from a bag or whatever, but they're really good. They fry them and fried seasoned curly fries.
Oh, those are so
with
good.
like this big grease burger. It's so good.
Is there a variety of fry that just doesn't taste that good? Please tell me. Because it sickens me to. If you ever really realize,
potato fries are pretty good too.
I'm not a fan of sweet potatoes.
Oh, they're really good, man.
But it sickens me to think how much potatoes we actually eat. Like, have you ever taken stock of how many times you eat potatoes in a week?
They're convenient. They're the food.
Yeah, they're a convenient choice. That's why we eat them, like chips and fries.
A potato doesn't really go bad. It just starts to grow.
And for anyone that is British and listening to this, I said the same thing twice. So, chips and crisps.
Chips and crisps.
Fries and chips.
Fries, yeah.
Why'd they say fries twice? What the fuck?
What do you mean?
Why'd they say chips twice?
Oh, why did we say it?
No, but, yeah, I sometimes, take a look back and, I had fries, 4 times this week. God damn it.
Really? I don't know.
No, sometimes I think like that, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, oof.
Potatoes. I have potatoes often, I guess.
Yeah, because everyone does. It makes me wonder, if there was ever another potato famine, I wonder how much we would suffer.
I mean, I think it's just it's a starch. So there's other ones. There's ones that I don't eat plantains normally, but I'm sure some families do.
No, but that's a big thing in Central and South America.
Yeah.
So same deal with them. But they also have plantains in addition to the potatoes, so they at least have a choice.
Yeah. Well, I'll have rice, or we'll have bread, or I'll have potatoes.
Yeah.
Or some other thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Pasta.
Pasta. Potato pasta.
Yeah.
See, look at that. You would be friggin'
Starch.
adding to your consumption.
It's true.
I remember talking in the episode early on in this episode, what happened on Friday, and the speakeasy thing. Hearing about that was the highlight of my day. Not what happened afterwards, which me and my friend went out to get fancy pizza.
Yeah.
And I what's your favorite pizza topping?
I prefer peppers and onions.
Okay. I normally would go for just a pepperoni sausage.
Yeah.
When I got there, we split it. She had arugula, and something else, and I had prosciutto and black olives. And I thought they were going to be the sliced black olives.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were the olives that you find in a Greek salad.
Were they not black?
They were the black and the purplish black.
So Kalamata olives, probably.
Yeah, I think so. So I had those, and
they're good.
My first slice was I think this is good. This is good.
It's different.
And then the second slice, the taste of the olive just kind of hit me. I'm like, wait a minute, I remember this taste. It tastes bad. This tastes like vomit. It just clicked with me.
That's what you're telling yourself.
The Kalamata olive, once I've been into it, I remember
amazing.
I've tasted this before, and this tasted like one time when I was just throwing up everything from a stomach bug. I'm like, if I eat any more of this, I think I'm gonna hurl. I ended up the rest of the slices that I had. I ended up just picking off the olives. I already added to it. That was an extra $3.
Yeah.
And I feel stupid for doing that, but if I did have any more, I was going to upchuck.
Yeah. To me, I'm a sweet taste person. I love
savory all the
roasted vegetables that are, because they get caramelized and they're very sweet, red peppers and caramelized onions, and the pizza. You put the red peppers and the caramelized onions on there, and you have the sauce is my favorite part because it's nice and sweet and it's cooked down so it's not watery anymore, but not as liquid as sauce would be.
It's like a salve at that point. You know what
I
mean?
Yeah.
It's not sauce. It's it's a paste.
My favorite part of the pizza is that inch before, half inch before the crust, where the cheese has shrunk away and it's just the red sauce.
Yeah.
I love that. So to me, a lot of people like the cheese or the crust because it's salty, or
yeah.
I really love the sweet sauce. Yeah, that's my story.
Yeah. Well, I always wonder. I've always wanted to taste anchovies, but it always makes me wonder. What is the universally the best topping? And I remember looking the other day, and They had pizza at my office. Like they just like had it left over from something. The plain pie was basically gone. The pepperoni pie was basically gone, and like more than half of the mushroom pie was left. So I decided to take one for the team and be like, look, I'll have like 2 slices of the mushroom one, because I know that's not going to go anywhere. And I had one bite of the mushroom going like, okay, well maybe this isn't going to be terrible. I forgot how much I hated mushrooms. I thought the pizza was going to friggin' mask that, but I ended up just like hunting down the entire slice and being like, I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want it.
You know
it tastes like fucking rubber!
You know what it is? You gotta have it fresh when it's hot with a mushroom pizza.
Maybe, but I'm still just like skeeved out by mushrooms to begin with. How did we figure out, let's take this thing that's growing off of a tree or a dead person and like eat it?
We ate everything.
We ate everything.
There are some things we don't eat anymore.
There are some things that nature friggin' told us we should not eat, and we end up eating it anyway. Friggin' fugu from a pufferfish.
Yeah.
Nature basically said, you cannot eat this, but okay, I'll throw in a little slice right here that is edible for you.
Yeah.
And that's a delicacy. Why the hell not?
Yeah. They judge the quality. They like to include a little bit of the neurotoxin with the fish, just like the slightest amount, so that when you eat it, like it will numb your tongue a little bit or something like that.
Wow.
The guy enjoys that. That's because the people who eat it are looking for
a challenge,
a dangerous, thrilling experience.
Yeah, I'm reminded of the Simpsons episode every time that I see it. Like, I don't care, fugu me.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to eat.
Mushrooms are like not. I don't find pizza mushrooms, the ones they use on pizza, like the button ones. They're not very flavorful.
They're there for the texture.
They're
that
there for texture alone.
So I actually looked up, and guess where mushrooms rank on like the on like a top 10 list, a top 20 list of toppings people like. Go on, take a wild stab. You could probably guess what number 1 is.
I would say number 1 is pepperoni.
Yeah, because that's like that's a sausage meat that people exclusively use just for pizza.
I think it's also like pepperoni just looks like it's iconic. Like you can't if you wanted to like draw a pizza with peppers and onions on it, like
it wouldn't look as good. But if you draw
a mess,
if you draw a triangle and you put little like dark circles on it, people be like, "Oh, that's pizza."
Yeah. So I think a lot of people just say, "Oh, this is like the best top." Yeah, but it's good. I mean, pepperoni is good.
Guess where mushrooms fall?
Number 2.
Number 2. I'm sitting here.
I knew it.
I'm sitting here eating it. Like, who the hell enjoys this?
It's good.
And then I find out it's the most popular non-meat option for pizza.
It's nice.
It's disgusting.
It's nice. See, I actually don't really like pepperoni on pizza, or because I mean I'll eat. It's not like I hate it, but it's just like to me, I don't know.
I'll eat pineapple on pizza. That's like a weird choice.
It's like a different texture.
Onions are awesome on it. Olives, not the Kalamata, but like the plain sliced black olives.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ham, sausage. I'll eat peppers on it. I'll stomach that. Mushrooms, get that shit away from me.
Well, on that note, I think we've hit our mark.
Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. Like, your clock is kind of weird.
I'm going... Yeah.
You're going by my clock?
Yeah.
See, now, who's laughing at who now for putting extra stuff on their laptop? Yeah. Oh! That happened. But, no, this was a good episode.
Good episode,
I'm going to refrain from jerking myself off about it too early. Oh, God. But, yeah, I don't know. This was good. This was fun.
Let us know what your favorite...
pizza topping is.
Yeah,
let's be boring about this. Answer us one of 3 things. What would you order? What would you want to see in a speakeasy? What would you like on your pizza? And thirdly, what would you open your food truck with? Please, just answer us one of those 3 things.
Do you hate mushrooms?
Do you hate mushrooms as much as I do? I bet you don't.
They're pretty good.
Let's find out. But until then, it's Mike and Dean for Gentleman Dog Portrait, signing off.
Later.